But what about Spurs then? Because, I mean, the pattern this season, Gabby, and, I watch them very closely. I host the biggest and best Spurs podcast out there. Their performances are not really matched by their results because they were stodgy in the first half, and yet they come away with 3 more points.
I think Spurs got away one tonight. I look at the game. Bournemouth, if you look at the goals they conceded, poor defending from Bournemouth. But if you stop Harry Kane and stop Son, you stop Spurs. And for most of the game today, that's what Bournemouth done. Unlucky with the goals they conceded. But like you said to me earlier before the show, you started with 2 attacking players today, Spurs.
On the whole pitch, just the two out,
it's
two
like
forwards.
He wants to play defensive. Very poor from Spurs today. And another thing is, Sanchez, I wouldn't play him again. I would not play him again for Spurs.
Well, he dragged him off and ended up playing Eric Dyer slightly out of position in order to try and... I think the combination of Sanchez and Emerson is really poor on the right-hand side of Spurs'
It's
defense.
dreadful, isn't it? Let's be honest.
They're not bad. They're not bad blokes. They're good athletes and all the rest of it, but they neither...
But why can't Spurs get up for games in the first half? Can you explain?
My suspicion is that they are so defensively set out, and I don't, Gabby, see another... In the big leagues, I don't see another team who are as defensive as Spurs are at the start of these games. Not even Atletico Madrid these days, because the world is changing and the teams who attack are the ones who do better largely. And I think it's in their minds now not to go out and have a go. And yet, by the end of the game, to be fair to them, Gab, they'd had 20 plus shots and 20 plus corners.
But do you think they have to,
on paper they were a better team?
Yeah, do you think they have to go a goal down before they start thinking, all right, let's push a few more players forward? Is it like, let's not concede in the first 15, 20 minutes? The manager's probably saying that to them because it happened in midweek against Sporting Lisbon. You don't turn up until the second half.
They're a very Italian side. I cannot complain about the results because the points per game are still very, very good. It's difficult to watch if you're a Spurs fan, Gabby, and I'm still not sure that it's the best use of the forward players they have on the books there.
Yeah,
allowing for the injuries right now. What did you want to say, Toby? Mixed sort of day for Bournemouth.
Mixed, really, but I'll be honest, I was quite happy, to be fair. Well, not with the result, but the performance. I thought if we went there and performed, we got 2 games coming up where we needed to show a bit of fight and be brave, and we were. So I was, you could see it coming, though, to be fair. We were 2-0 up. As soon as they got a goal, we were like a tent in a tornado. We were going to get blown away, and we were just clinging on for dear life, really.
Let me ask you this, then. That's 3 defeats on the spin for Bournemouth, who had a very good run under Gary O'Neill and seemed very relaxed about the managerial situation. Is that bringing it more back into focus now? Do they need to either appoint Gary or somebody else to the job full time?
I don't think so. I think you've got to leave it to the World Cup, and then you've got 6 weeks to have a look and see who's in the market and whether they can go and get someone else in. There's no point just changing for the sake of it, just to get someone in that's, maybe hope that they do a better job. I think you've got to give it a bit of stability. Look towards that. Go on, Gabby.
I want to ask you how bad was Spurs as well, and did you find that?
Shut up, Gabby.
Did you find that second half you sat back too much?
I thought at half time or just after that Jamie might be on his way there to be the new manager. They were pretty poor.
No, he got sacked by Billy Ricky, you know that, mate.
Exactly. That's exactly that. They weren't great, but Bournemouth were direct, which is what they haven't been.
Yep.
They played 2 up front. Kiefer Moore's a handful. I think even England have probably got to watch out for him, and that's even from an England fan. He's something that Spurs really struggled with him, and they brought Eric Dyer on, and he did a job to sort of get the ball away, and they actually did a lot better, and then they could attack from there. So, yeah, it was not. You could see it coming today that they were going to come back, but you can't be too disappointed with the performance. No. They got a couple of goals, and we got Everton and Leeds coming up. So we just got to hope we got to pick some points up against teams like that, really.
All right, well, thank you very much indeed, Toby. Not too disappointed with the game being turned around. First time in 4.5 years in the Premier League that Spurs have come back from 2 down to win a game of football.